Okay, so in this short video, I'm going to talk through how to read a climate graph. Now, I've literally just put this together. This doesn't represent any place. Looks very messy. I've rushed it really quickly, but it just gives an idea of what a climate graph shows, and then obviously I can then show you how to read it. Okay, so firstly, a climate graph can be applied to any area, any country, any region of the world. And when we use the word climate, remember that's broken into two things: precipitation, rainfall, and the temperature. So both of these is what we mean when we talk about climate. So that being said, those two, precipitation and temperature, are both shown on this graph. So this axis here is showing rainfall, precipitation, and the axis over here is showing temperature, how hot or cold it is. Obviously, rainfall is measured in millimetres and temperature is in degrees Celsius. And then across the bottom, we have the different months of the year. Now, next thing to remember is on the graph you've got this line and you've got the bars. Which one's which? So the bars are rainfall. Normally on a coloured climate graph, the bars are normally blue. Normally, not always, but normally they're blue. And the line represents the temperature. And normally, once again, not always, but normally the line is orange or red. And the way that I always remember it is, I think blue, I think water, precipitation. If the line, this line, is red or orange, I just think heat, temperature. And that's how I remember it. But it's not always, so just remember bars, precipitation, line is temperature, okay? So you have to make sure that if you're reading the temperature, you read it from the correct axes. If you read it, the precipitation on the bars, you read from the correct axes, okay? So just for the sake of argument, I'm just going to put some numbers on here. These numbers mean very little right now, I'm just making this up, but just to give you an idea, okay? I'm just going to 1 to 8, there you go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So normally, of course, you know, these numbers would be very different because they're talking about two very different things, okay? But for the sake of this video, I'm just going to put 1 to 8. So let's say, for example, I would like to know in the month of March how much rain fell in this particular region that this climate graph is talking about. I go to March, I go up to the bar because the bar is rainfall, and I make sure I read from this axis, so it's about 2.5 millimetres of rain fell in March. But if I wanted to know the temperature, let's say in, I don't know, let's go to July. I go up to July, but I go to the line because the temperature is the line, and I read on this axis, there you go, it's about 6 degrees Celsius. And that's it. With a climate graph as well, we can look for trends. So I can see just from this graph here that in this particular area, there was a decrease in rainfall, then it increased dramatically over the next 4 to 5 months. Then obviously there was a decrease again. And equally, I can do the same for temperature. It decreased, and then it got to about July and it increased again. So you can show trends and patterns as well. So hopefully that helps. That's the climate graph.